Time. Hello, friends. My name is Frank Law, and I've been a barista now for 13 years. And the last time I competed on this stage was back in 2014, almost 10 years ago. I know, I'm a dinosaur. Now, a lot has changed during this time in both my career and in our industry. But the one thing I've seen consistently throughout my journey as a barista is the exponential speed at which coffee is transforming. And that's precisely what I'll be focusing on today: metamorphosis. Metamorphosis is a dramatic transformation in form or nature. For our journey today, let's discover how coffee transforms dramatically in taste and experience. You see, transformation is happening in every stage of the coffee story. First, we see producers working to transform a seedling into a cherry, imparting incredible potential to each seed. Next, we see roasters working to transform an insoluble, relatively flavorless substance into a soluble and aromatic coffee. And lastly, here on the barista level, we work to transform these story-filled beans into a beverage to be imbibed and enjoyed by our customers. Now, just like how a caterpillar, stuck to the ground and earth around it, undergoes metamorphosis to become a stunning and beautiful butterfly that flies around the world to wherever it pleases, we too can experience metamorphosis in coffee. The coffee I'll be using today is the geisha variety from Finca Juan Martin. And I chose this coffee because it's a great example of metamorphosis through the hands of producers. The cherries are first picked at optimal ripeness at the farm, located 20-50 meters above sea level in Cauca, Colombia. They're processed as naturals or hermetically sealing the cherries in tanks during transportation to the processing facility at Manos Juntas. They're kept in these anaerobic conditions for 24 hours. Then they're cleaned, sorted, and spread out in raised beds in a solar dryer controlled by compressed air, bringing the relative humidity down from 70 to 30%. Now, as you know, this is all done to achieve a desired flavor profile. These steps introduce a new layer of transformation and show how one little change in environment can result in drastic changes in the cup, which in the case for this geisha is to call out its inherent florality and complex fruitiness. Now, with that knowledge in mind, I'm extracting this coffee at 18 grams in, 46 grams out for 23 seconds, capturing this perfectly. This extraction lended well for this coffee because it spaced out the sweetness and acidity and highlighted florality, limiting astringency in the finish. Now, for all these reasons, judges, I want you to write down these tasting notes for today's espresso. You're going to experience blood orange, tart cherry, orange blossom, and cacao nibs. The tactile is going to be light to medium in weight. It's going to be a silky mouthfeel and a pleasant lingering finish. Now I'm going to hand you these espressos. Please evaluate the crema, but hold off on tasting. I'm going to be introducing a new layer to this course. Once again, please evaluate the crema, but hold off on tasting. Here you are, thank you. Here you are, thank you. Now I'm covering your espressos with these lids. I'm just gonna help cool down the espresso slowly over time, preserving the delicate florals in the cup, and also giving me a chance to talk about the coffee a little bit more. Now, as the roaster, I had the opportunity to transform this coffee and showcase the flavors the team at Manos Juntas worked so hard to produce. I dropped this coffee at 300 degrees Fahrenheit for 9.5 minutes, focusing on developing the coffees during the Meyer phase and gently gliding into first crack as to draw out the florality and juiciness of this coffee, specifically to a development time ratio of 13%. During this period, coffee is undergoing a range of chemical and physical transformations. So the decisions I made during this period were vital to the transformation of this coffee, which I'm looking forward to you experiencing very, very soon. Now, as I come around and as you stir with your spoons before you stir, I want you to get in there with your nose and smell the aroma coming from the cups. You're going to experience a lovely floral bouquet. And then I want you to take your spoons and stir back and forth 6 times and enjoy. You're going to experience the metamorphosis of this coffee up to this point. All your tasting notes are here on your tasting cards and for the rest of the courses. And please place your spent spoons in these cups provided for you. Thank you so much. Enjoy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Put your hands together for Frank's Espressos.
Now, we also see transformation in coffee through the marriage of espresso and milk. And it starts with the milk I'm using. I'm calling it freeze distilled evaporated milk. Let me explain. I first took whole organic milk and freeze distilled it down to 50% of its weight. This resulted in a creamier, sweeter milk. But I wanted something more. I wanted a more developed caramelized sweetness to pair with the high acidity and florality of this geisha espresso. So, in the spirit of transformation, I evaporated the milk by simmering it at 180 degrees for 25 minutes, developing the sugars present in the milk and pushing forth a deeper sweetness. Now, this was the milk I was looking for to help transform these cappuccinos. In this pairing, the precise amount of fats and sugars present in both the milk and the espresso, they come together to create unique low-tone sweetness flavor calls. I found that this was best expressed with an extraction of 19 grams in, 26 grams out for 20 seconds, perfectly marrying the decadent milk and this concentrated style of extraction. In your cappuccinos today, you will taste cashew butter, cardamom, and cheesecake, and strawberry pocky. The texture is rich, it's pillowy, and has a coating finish like milkshake. Now, when coffee is roasted, it undergoes a metamorphosis no value into a substance that is full of complexity and flavor compounds. I believe as roasters, our job is to capture these roasts and present them at their optimal stage. You see, this is especially true for me. Believe it or not, I'm actually allergic to green coffee. I have an allergic reaction that causes itchy eyes, sneezing, skin rash. It's terrible. I actually have to take medicine before I roast every single time. Specifically, there's a protein found in green coffee called alpha amylase inhibitor 1. This protein is found in the outermost layer of green coffee, which helps protect the seeds from insects and pests. Unfortunately, it also protects it from me. However, when coffee is roasted above 200 degrees Fahrenheit, this protein's enzymatic activity is denatured, transforming and evolving into something that I can consume and enjoy. You see, judges, without this transformation through the application of heat, I wouldn't be able to do what I love, which is to taste and share coffees and enjoy and share this cappuccino with you today. So thank you so much. Please enjoy. Thank you. Now, I wanted to bring it back to transformation for the signature beverage and showcase how we as baristas are the final agents of transformation through the choices we make to create a unique tasting experience with the goal to enhance and evolve. Spread its wings, if you will. For that reason, I'm calling this drink Nabia, which is Korean for butterfly. All right, so the first ingredient is the star of the show, the Finca 1 Martine I extracted earlier, but at a longer extraction of 18 grams in, 56 grams out, which will serve as a perfect canvas for the rest of the ingredients. I've chilled it through this hyper chiller to cool it down, but to also heighten the acidity and increase the viscosity. Next, I'm adding 3 grams of a lacto-fermented strawberry juice, which I made by adding 1 part strawberry to 2% salt and letting it ferment at room temperature for 5 days. This resulted in a concentrated strawberry flavor where just a little bit goes a long way. I chose strawberry because it has a vibrant acidity that really matched well with this geisha espresso. And this ingredient exhibits the transformation the producers enacted onto this coffee through their use of fermentation and processing. And it transforms that flavor of blood orange to a new grapefruit. Next, I'm adding 20 grams of a toasted coconut simple syrup, which I made by sous videing the two ingredients together for 2 hours at 145 degrees Fahrenheit. This resulted in a deep, tropical, toasted nutty sweetness that added a really nice grounded sweetness to this beverage. This ingredient represents the transformation I've made from a barista to a roaster, taking coffee in its raw form and applying heat to transform it. And this ingredient transforms that flavor of orange blossom and cacao nibs to a new lemon lime soda. And lastly, I'm adding 30 grams of a clarified geisha flora honey milk punch, which I made by adding 150 grams of milk to 150 grams of lemon and yuzu juice, which helps separate the curds from the whey. The cool thing about curds is they act as a filter to help draw out pigments and tannins. To add florality, I added 2 cups of an oolong tea, and as a balancing agent, I added 2 ounces of a floral honey from Kauai. After filtering it through spent grounds of the geisha, it filtered and transformed into a clear but complex concoction, adding a refreshing complexity to this beverage. And this ingredient represents the transformation I've made from a barista to now a more complex position as a business owner. And it transforms that flavor of tart cherry into a new peach yogurt. Now, just as the cherries were hermetically sealed, I'm sealing all the ingredients into this charger. And I'm blending it for 5 seconds, further transforming this beverage and adding a velvety mouthfeel to your drinking experience. Now, my drinking instructions are simple. Please evaluate when I call time, swirl for 3 seconds, and enjoy over 3 sips. You're going to notice all the ingredients come together in great synergy and transform to bring you new flavors of peach yogurt, lemon lime soda, and grapefruit in the finish. Now, as a last touch, I'm also adding 2 spritz of an oleosaccharum spray, which is going to add a citrus element to help lift all those flavors up. Now, the question is, why does this all matter? Well, 13 years ago, I was just a baby barista, and now I'm a business owner. And all the experience and knowledge I've gained during this time is also reflected in the hands that have come together to bring out the highest, most intrinsic qualities of this coffee and to truly make the sky our limit. Coffee is transformative. Say it with me. Coffee is transformative. Thank you so much. Let's fly together. Time.
Put your hands together, Frank La. Be Bright Coffee, Los Angeles, California. Come on over here with me, Frank. Do you miss those baby barista years? I do.
In ways, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, way less
ways.
responsibilities.
Right?
Yeah, no payroll, no, just a bunch of different things for sure.
How is it being having Be Bright?
It's been definitely a big learning experience for me. Starting off as a barista 13 years ago, I never thought that one day I'd be in this position. But I feel like everything I've learned along the way, whether it was just dialing in, to latte art, to becoming a manager, to processing my first payroll, it all prepared me for this position I'm in now. And I feel like I'm ready to do a good job.
As a business owner competing, what were some of the challenges along the way? Because I mean, we all go through this long road, prelims, qualifiers, now nationals.
Definitely a lot of sacrifice, a lot of late nights, like the business does not stop running. And in order for me to make time to practice, I have to do it after hours or make time for it after. And we have my wife and I have a kid, and she's only 3 years old. And there was one night where she was just knocked out in our cafe because she was still there. And it's stuff like that. It's all the sacrifice and time spent into this that really makes it difficult but worth it.
What's your favorite part about competition?
I think just kind of pushing myself to learn, to grow, to figure out why I love this industry and how I want to push it forward in my own way. So that's what I love.
Speaking of kids, I think my son has a question.
Do you have any shout outs?
Yes. I want to shout out definitely my my main squad, Michelle, my wife, Tay, who's been there with me every night, and Sam, who's been helping me, my best friend, since we were second grade. So he's been here. And just like everybody, my parents, because they watch our daughter when we're practicing. And everybody who's come in and done a mock run through, tasted my coffee, like I couldn't have done it and come this far without their help.
One more time, put your hands together. Frank La, Be Bright Coffee, Los Angeles, California.